Imagine you are sitting across from your cardiologist, the prescription pad already in his hand. You are over 60, and he is writing down the same medication he has prescribed to thousands before you. "This will protect your heart," he says with that confident smile you have come to trust. "Take one pill every day for the rest of your life." What he doesn't tell you, and what many cardiologists themselves don't realize or prefer to ignore, is the devastating truth. After age 60, this very medication that is supposed to save your heart can systematically destroy your body. Yes, you heard that correctly. Destroy. A massive study by Johns Hopkins in 2023 revealed that certain daily heart medications cause significantly more harm than benefit in people over 60. 4 widely prescribed drugs increase the risk of life-threatening complications by up to 340%. And the most alarming part, most cardiologists never mention it. Why? Because medication means money. Every prescription, every refill, every monthly pickup fills the pharmaceutical coffers. But for you, for your aging body after 6 decades of life, these pills can be catastrophic. Your body is no longer the resilient machine it once was. It is like a vintage car that requires premium fuel, not whatever is cheapest at the pump. Every unnecessary chemical, every daily toxin, every superfluous strain accumulates in ways that younger bodies can flush away. Today, I am going to reveal the 4 most dangerous daily medications you should question after age 60. The first one will astound you because it is prescribed so routinely. Almost everyone takes the second without understanding the cascade of damage it triggers. The third is so embedded in standard cardiac care that even well-intentioned doctors automatically prescribe it. And the fourth, the most insidious of all, might be sitting in your medicine cabinet right now. But I will also show you which heart symptoms truly matter, what warning signs require attention, and how you can protect your cardiovascular health without poisoning your system. Because this is not about rejecting all cardiac care. This is about making informed decisions. After age 60, your body undergoes profound changes, right down to the molecular level. Your liver processes drugs more slowly, kidney function declines, and medications that were once harmless can suddenly become toxic. This is not failure, it is physiology. It is the natural progression of life. But the medical establishment largely ignores this reality. It treats you the same at 65 as it does at 35. Same dosages, same protocols, same medications, as if your organs were ageless. But the truth is that a drug that is routine for a 40-year-old can trigger a cascade of complications in a 65-year-old. Consider your liver, for instance. After decades of processing everything from alcohol to environmental toxins, it is already working at reduced capacity. It is like an overworked filter that can no longer keep up. Adding daily medications forces it into overdrive, and eventually, something breaks down. Or think about your kidneys. They have been filtering your blood for over 60 years. What used to be effortless elimination now becomes a struggle. Studies demonstrate that people over 60 have a 75% higher risk of kidney damage from routine cardiac medications, and your doctor probably will not discuss that with you. Then there is the money factor. A cardiologist can easily generate $500 to $2,000 per patient annually through medication management. A pharmaceutical company profits billions. It is a trillion-dollar industry. And you are the commodity. Your fear, your trust, your hope for longevity. Everything is systematically monetized. Do not misunderstand me. Not all cardiologists are corrupt. Most genuinely want to help. But they are trapped in a system that prioritizes prescriptions over prevention, a system that believes more medication equals better medicine. The American Geriatric Society has been warning about overprescribing in older adults since 2018. But few are truly listening. The financial incentives are too powerful, the practices too entrenched, and so it continues. Day after day, patient after patient, a relentless cycle of prescriptions that often cause more damage than protection. Now we address the 4 most dangerous daily medications. Number 1. Daily aspirin for primary prevention. After 60 sounds logical, right? A small pill to prevent heart attacks and strokes. Many doctors recommend it as essential protection for anyone over 60. The brutal reality: daily aspirin after 60 transforms your stomach into a ticking time bomb. A single daily aspirin increases your risk of life-threatening bleeding by 58%. Your digestive tract, after decades of wear, becomes paper-thin. What a young stomach can tolerate becomes Russian roulette for you. Studies by the American Heart Association show that older adults on daily aspirin have a 43% higher risk of brain hemorrhage. Moreover, these pills constantly irritate your stomach lining, creating ulcers that would never have developed otherwise. A small erosion in the stomach wall, a tiny tear in the intestine, internal bleeding that can kill you in hours. With younger people, we might see minor stomach upset. With you, it can mean emergency surgery or death. I recall Mrs. Johnson, 67 years old. Her cardiologist prescribed daily aspirin just to be safe. 3 months later, she collapsed at home from internal bleeding, emergency surgery, blood transfusions, and 2 weeks in intensive care. In the end, she survived, but the preventive aspirin nearly killed her. The disturbing statistics: for people over 65, you must give daily aspirin to 2,000 people to prevent 1 heart attack. And how many suffer major bleeding complications during that time? Far more than are helped. The safer alternative: omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil provide heart protection without bleeding risk. Regular exercise offers better cardiovascular benefits than any pill, but these do not generate prescription revenue, so they are rarely emphasized. Number 2. Proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, for daily acid reduction. Many older adults take these daily for heartburn or acid reflux. Medications like Prilosec, Nexium, or Prevacid become part of their daily routine. Doctors prescribe them liberally, calling them stomach protection. What they do not explain is the systematic destruction occurring inside your body. PPIs do not just reduce stomach acid, they eliminate it almost completely. Your stomach acid exists for crucial reasons. It absorbs essential nutrients, kills dangerous bacteria, and maintains your immune system. Without adequate acid, your body cannot absorb vitamin B12, iron, calcium, or magnesium. After age 60, this becomes catastrophic. B12 deficiency causes irreversible nerve damage, memory loss, and depression that doctors mistake for dementia. Iron deficiency leads to crushing fatigue and heart problems. Calcium malabsorption makes your bones brittle as glass. I know Mr. Davis, 71, who took Nexium daily for 5 years. He developed such severe B12 deficiency that he could no longer walk straight or remember his grandchildren's names. The neurologist wanted to test for Alzheimer's until someone finally checked his B12 levels. The damage was permanent, but there is more. Without stomach acid, dangerous bacteria multiply freely. C. Difficile infections skyrocket. Pneumonia becomes more likely. Your gut microbiome, essential for immune function, gets destroyed. Studies show that long-term PPI use increases infection risk by 65% in older adults. The smarter approach: identify and eliminate the actual cause of acid reflux. Often, it is simply eating too late, consuming inflammatory foods, or lying down too soon after meals. Natural remedies like ginger or chamomile tea provide relief without systemic damage. Number 3. Statins for cholesterol control. After 65, the cholesterol-lowering empire. Millions of older adults swallow these pills daily, convinced they are preventing heart attacks. Doctors hand out prescriptions like candy, insisting that cholesterol is the enemy. What they fail to mention is that after 65, cholesterol becomes protective, not harmful. Your brain needs cholesterol to function. Your hormones require cholesterol for production. Your cell membranes depend on cholesterol for stability. Statins do not just lower cholesterol, they sabotage your body's essential functions. muscle pain and weakness affect up to 40% of older statin users. Not minor discomfort, debilitating pain that makes daily activities impossible. Many people stop exercising, which destroys their cardiovascular health far more than elevated cholesterol ever could. Memory problems plague statin users. Your brain is 25% cholesterol by weight. When you artificially lower cholesterol, brain function suffers. I have seen patients develop such severe memory issues on statins that their families feared Alzheimer's, only to watch the problems disappear when the medication was stopped. I remember Mrs. Patterson, 69, a former teacher who prided herself on her sharp mind. 6 months after starting statins, she could no longer balance her checkbook or remember appointments. Her daughter was researching memory care facilities when a new doctor suggested stopping the statin. Within 2 months, her mental clarity returned completely. Liver damage is another hidden consequence. Statins force your liver to work overtime, often causing enzyme elevations that can progress to serious liver injury. After 65, when liver function is already declining, this additional stress can be devastating. The evidence is clear. Multiple studies show that in people over 75, higher cholesterol levels are associated with better survival, not worse. Yet doctors continue prescribing statins as if age does not matter. Number 4. ACE inhibitors for blood pressure. The most dangerous of all. This might be the most prescribed class of medications for people over 60. ACE inhibitors like lisinopril, enalapril, and ramipril are considered the gold standard for blood pressure control. Just keep those numbers down, they say. Sounds harmless enough, but it represents the deadliest trap in cardiovascular medicine. ACE inhibitors do not just lower blood pressure. They fundamentally alter your body's most basic regulatory systems. In people over 60, whose regulatory mechanisms are already compromised, this becomes playing Russian roulette with your organs. The most devastating consequence is orthostatic hypertension. Your blood pressure drops dangerously when you stand up. For younger people, this might cause mild dizziness. For you, it means catastrophic falls. Hip fractures, head injuries, and death from falls increase by 67% in older adults on ACE inhibitors. I recall Mr. Thompson, 74, whose doctor started him on lisinopril for slightly elevated blood pressure. 2 weeks later, he stood up from his armchair, blacked out, and fell face first into his coffee table. Skull fracture, brain bleeding, 3 weeks in the hospital. His blood pressure was perfect according to the numbers, but the medication nearly killed him. Kidney damage is another silent killer. ACE inhibitors reduce blood flow to your kidneys, which are already functioning at reduced capacity after 60 years. What starts as slightly elevated creatinine progresses to chronic kidney disease, then dialysis. The very medication prescribed to protect your heart destroys your kidneys. Hyperkalemia, dangerously elevated potassium levels, affects up to 15% of older adults on ACE inhibitors. High potassium stops your heart cold. No warning, no second chances. Emergency rooms see this regularly, but the connection to blood pressure medication is rarely acknowledged. The tragic irony, studies show that modest blood pressure elevation in people over 70 is often protective, not harmful. Your aging arteries need slightly higher pressure to maintain adequate blood flow to vital organs. By artificially lowering blood pressure, we may be causing the very problems we are trying to prevent. Now you might wonder, why do we not hear about this in mainstream medicine? Simply put, the evidence exists, the warnings are published, but they get buried under mountains of industry-funded research, promoting continued medication use. In 2022, the British Medical Journal published a comprehensive analysis of over 800,000 patients over 60. The conclusion: for most routine cardiac medications, the risks exceed the benefits after age 65. This research received minimal attention in medical circles. Countries with less aggressive medication protocols for elderly patients, such as Norway and Denmark, do not have worse cardiovascular outcomes. In fact, their older populations report better quality of life, fewer falls, and less medication-related disability. Your body after 60 is like a classic vintage car. It has character, history, and unique requirements. If you constantly tinker with the engine, adding chemicals and modifications, you will eventually destroy what makes it special. Sometimes the best maintenance is the gentlest touch. A geriatric cardiologist once told me something that changed my perspective forever. The greatest danger to a healthy 70-year-old is not their heart disease. It is the medications we prescribe to treat numbers on a lab report. Here is the empowering truth. There is a better path. A way to protect your heart without compromising your entire body. This journey begins with a fundamental shift in thinking. Your body after 60 years has earned the right to be treated with respect, not bombarded with chemicals. You understand your body better than any doctor who spends 5 minutes reviewing your chart. You can sense when something is truly wrong. Chest pain that will not subside, sudden shortness of breath, unexplained swelling. These are the signals that matter, not arbitrary numbers on a blood test. My recommendations come from years of research and honest conversations with physicians who have seen the damage firsthand. First, always question every prescription. Why do I need this medication? What happens if I do not take it? What are the specific risks at my age? An ethical doctor welcomes these questions. One who does not is not acting in your best interest. Second, explore natural alternatives first. There are gentler approaches for almost every cardiovascular concern. Third, demand a medication review with a geriatrician, a specialist trained in the unique needs of older adults. Here are the interventions that genuinely protect your heart. Daily movement, even just 20 minutes of walking, provides more cardiovascular benefit than any medication. Stress reduction through meditation or prayer heals your heart at the cellular level. Quality sleep allows your cardiovascular system to repair and regenerate. Meaningful social connections reduce heart disease risk more than any pill. Proper nutrition, real food, not processed chemicals, gives your body what it needs to maintain itself. Learn the power of saying no. This might be the most critical skill you can develop right now. No, I do not want to start another medication until we explore alternatives. No, I will not accept standard of care without understanding the risks specific to my age. No, I'm not making this decision today. I need time to research and consider my options. Your no is not defiance. It is self-preservation. It is the difference between being a passive victim of the medical system and an active participant in your own health decisions. You have heard the truth. You now understand the 4 most dangerous daily medications that can cause more harm than healing. You know that you possess the power to question, to refuse, to demand better. You are not a walking collection of numbers that need pharmaceutical correction. You are not a helpless victim of aging who must submit to endless prescriptions. You are a person with 6 decades of life experience, and that wisdom should guide your medical decisions. Imagine your life without the constant worry of medication side effects, without the monthly pharmacy visits that only bring new concerns. Instead, picture a life where you trust your body's innate wisdom, where you move freely, think clearly, and live without fear. A life where health means vitality and strength, not the absence of symptoms because you have numbed them with drugs. Medicine serves an important purpose. When you have genuine symptoms, when something is clearly wrong, when your body sends unmistakable distress signals, then yes, seek appropriate help. But do not allow anyone to convince you that reaching 60 makes you a medical emergency requiring constant pharmaceutical intervention. You are a person with over 6 decades of valuable experience. That is strength, not weakness. Share this knowledge. Too many people suffer silently under the weight of unnecessary medications, afraid to question their doctor's recommendations. You can be the catalyst for change in your family and community. You are part of a growing movement of people reclaiming control over their health decisions. Your life belongs to you. Your body belongs to you. Your choices belong to you. Do not surrender that autonomy to anyone. Not doctors, not family members, not a system that profits from your compliance. You have earned the right to age with dignity and wisdom, free from unnecessary medical interference, free from pharmaceutical dependence. Your next 10, 20, or 30 years should be lived on your terms, with your body functioning as naturally as possible. See you in the next video. Stay questioning, stay strong, stay naturally healthy.